Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
What's up, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Race to 100. I'm Neil Batang.
I'm Rick Thorcell, and we are on episode number 51.
51.
Over the hump, man.
Over the hump. We're more than halfway there. Thank you guys for tuning in so much up to this point. Man, this episode is going to be very interesting. Can I?
Wayne LaPierre part 2.
No,
All
Wayne
right.
LaPierre. It's. I'm going to be ranting a little bit like this guy did
Let's
a few
do it,
episodes
man.
ago. So let me tell you guys something. This past week, or last week, recently, within the last 7 days, at a Donald Trump rally in Las Vegas, a young man befriended a police officer. He befriended this police officer, they engaged in conversation, cool dialogue, exchanged ideas, etc., etc. Then, when the police officer least expected it, this gentleman decides to try and disarm a police officer. He tries to disarm the police officer aggressively. A group of other police officers on site come and tackle this guy. They end up arresting him and taking him into custody. While interrogating him while he's in custody, they ask this guy, why would you try to disarm a police officer you befriended? And his response was, because I was going to use the firearm to assassinate Donald Trump. I wanted to do it sooner rather than later. So with that being said, and for whatever reason this isn't big news, a gentleman...
Yeah, this is not anything that I've heard of.
Like when I talk about this with people, they look at me like, really? Like, yes, a man attempted to disarm a police officer with the intent to kill presidential candidate Donald Trump.
And this was at a Trump rally.
In Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, okay.
And so many things go through my mind about this. Three things for me.
Okay.
One, why isn't this bigger news? Two, the acknowledgement of the racial disparity within our criminal justice system. And three, the outcome of all of this. What does this mean for the protection, and how do we kind of solve this type of issue regarding threats around politicians?
Yeah, so I mean, it was interesting because when Neil told me about this, I ended up looking on, I ended up typing in Google, Trump assassination attempt or whatever. Like, there was nothing, like, not even the CNN articles came up as number one search hits. It was like the Daily Mail, Daily Caller, which are sort of these fringe news organizations. No one was really reporting about this assassination attempt, which happens. I mean, it does happen. It happened with Obama. It happened with, I believe, Hillary Clinton had an attempt as well. But when it comes down to it, this is not something that is reported. If it was a minority, do you think that this would be like head news? Like, Donald Trump proves critics right. Minorities are really trying to do something devious.
If this was a minority, this person wouldn't have been arrested. This person wouldn't have been arrested. This person would have been killed. This person would have been severely harmed. This person would have been hurt. And it would have been justified, because you can't attempt to disarm a police officer. Let me tell you guys something. We here at Straight Up Race to 100, VNR Media, as of today, we are done sugarcoating everything. We want you viewers to acknowledge the racial disparity within our criminal justice system. It is not your fault. We aren't pointing the finger. It is not his fault. It is not my fault. But again, let's put this into context. I believe the word is contextualize.
Very well.
Let us put this into context, okay? A Caucasian man from England. He wasn't American. We're not exactly sure what he was doing here. He was here on an expired visa.
Yes,
his
correct.
visa expired.
Yes, he was here illegally. He was an illegal immigrant, ironically.
But no one says that.
No.
Ooh, CNN, you guys think you're slick. Let me tell you something. When you read the article, it says nothing about him being an illegal immigrant, an illegal alien. Nothing. He was. You know what I'm saying?
How is it when there are Hispanics or African Americans, whatever? Like when their visa is expired, They are an illegal immigrant, and that is their first and foremost.
But in the article,
title.
it says it was a 19-year-old from England with an expired visa. With an expired visa. That's how they characterize it.
He is an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, but they don't
Absolutely.
But they don't say it like that. Again, let us put this into context. A Caucasian young man attempted to disarm a police officer with the intent to shoot / assassinate Donald Trump. And he was only arrested, not harmed, not hurt,
And no one made news out of it.
Not tased, not shot, not beat up, nothing. Meanwhile, a minority could stand behind himself, stand back, put his hands up and say, please don't shoot, get killed, and people will rationalize said crazy / heinous acts because he stole Skittles when he was 10 years old.
And you were saying this goes to the core of what Black Lives Matter actually means.
Yes, Black Lives Matter. This is what it actually means. All Black Lives Matter means is, again, it is addressing the racial disparity within our criminal justice system. And that is it.
I think what you're getting at, and what I'm hearing right now, is the fact that this was a white man. This was a white man who did this crime.
Yes.
And it is that subtle lack of acknowledgement that for the same actions that a minority would have done, this guy is able to get a pass on one level or another. That, you know,
and it breaks. I'm telling you guys, because
from a very basic level to from the news stories
yes.
to the fact that he did not get shot. I mean, those are all like subtle. Those are all like subtle differences.
He didn't get hurt. He didn't get taken. You know what's probably gonna happen, Rich? You know what's probably gonna happen? He's in custody right now. They'll deport him. They'll send him back to England. I don't know what the Brits will do with him because I know when you're deported back to another country, it is
they have their own legal
it's
processes.
at the convenience or that's not at the discretion of your home country on how they'll persecute you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Prosecute.
Excuse
Yes.
me. What they will end up doing to you. And in this gentleman's case, I feel like he'll probably go back to England. He'll be some hero. He'll hang out in his community, tell the story, laugh with his friends. He'll write a book. It'll be a bestseller, and he'll be rich in the next 10 years.
Regardless, there is that fact, though, that there is this racial discrepancy that we have right now that is unacknowledged. That you know, when we bring up these issues of cops shooting minorities for whatever their crimes may be or non-crimes may be, race is brought front and center. And yet when it is a white person, no one ever mentions race as a primary feature of how that person is treated. You know?
Yeah.
This person was white, and as a result, his white privilege, whatever that may look like, ended up granting him certain benefits that a minority would not have. If it was a minority who had attempted to assassinate Donald Trump, it would be a very, very different story. But because he was white, not only did the headlines not pick it up, but he was not shot, he was treated well, all of these aspects go into the fact that simply because he was white, he enjoyed these certain privileges. You know?
And the way CNN wrote this story, it was like they didn't make it seem like it was a terrible crime act to commit. They just made it appear as something a small anomaly in an otherwise regular
this stuff
day.
Happens, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Secret Service stopped it.
Water down. Everything is fine, folks. Don't worry. You know what I'm saying? No mention of the word terrorism.
Illegal immigrant.
No.
That is the craziest thing. The fact that he
that.
was an illegal immigrant.
If that was a Muslim, if that was a black person, if that was a Latino, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're here to tell you guys today on here on Race to 100 today. I mean, stuff isn't fair. I mean, again, I've been saying this
Well,
phrase a lot.
it's acknowledging the way that our system works.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, because the reality
And
is
people,
that these things happen.
and we just
You know?
want you guys to know that it's not an accident. We're not blaming you. We're not saying it's your fault or this, that, and the third.
No. It's about being aware that these things happen.
And I think that's when people hear this, they go into defense mode and think, oh, like, are you saying it's my fault? You know what I'm saying?
As a white person, like, oh, well, like, am I inherently wrong?
Exactly. No,
because
you
of the color of my
are
skin?
not. What makes you wrong isn't the color of your skin. What makes you wrong is failure to acknowledge the wrongdoings to other communities when it is right before your very eyes.
Well, and I think
That's the only issue. You know.
I really do believe that it is not so much about saying who's right, who's wrong. It is being able to articulate that this is happening. This is a reality that we are living in very different worlds. Me as a white person, Neil, you as a black person, we are living in two very different worlds. And the reality is exposed time and time and time again. And it's only through these instances of, like, this assassination attempt, Trayvon Martin, all of these other instances where those differences of the different worlds that we live in are actually brought out.
Yeah.
And those worlds need to be articulated. Those worlds need to be in dialogue. Because until we have a conversation about the different type of worlds that we live in, we're not going to make any sort of progress. And all we're going to see is an increase in the anger and the resentment and the frustrations that are happening within our culture. And we're going to get something that's happening, you know, in Britain right now, where you have all of this anger and resentment that's built up. So to just be aware that like we do live in very different worlds, and simply by having the color of the skin that we have, that means something. That does mean something, and the consequences of that are very real, and on a day-to-day basis, we get to see what that actually looks like.
Yeah, so make sure you guys like, comment, or subscribe to
That was
our
intense.
YouTube channel. Yeah,
very intense.
Yeah, it was, man. I'm very passionate about this, and as you know, we're aging, we're getting older, Rick. So we're learning, you know, who we are, and man, but looking good at the same time. It's important that we talk about these issues and, you know, learn what stance we're going to take as life progresses and how we can defend our position when the time comes.
Knowledge is power, you know.
Yeah, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you tune into more episodes of Race to 100. None of this would be possible without you guys. Rick, you want to add anything?
We will catch you next time on the Race to 100.